Hey everyone, Nexon FPS here and welcome back to a brand new video. I'm sorry that I've been away for so long. I've had life things, work things, school things, all kind of get in the way of each other. But that's not what the point of this video is about. The point of this video is Season 1 patch notes are live. Let's look through them. Season 1 update comes out tomorrow, December 4th. Let's take a look. We're going to kind of skip through some of the things we already know. Like we're going to kind of skip through some of these reading things because there's a lot of content to get through and I want to try to get it all in one video. This right here, this is the roadmap. Let me no, don't zoom it. Okay. I don't know why it's so laggy right now. Open image, a new tab. This is the roadmap. Looks pretty good. We've seen this before. Lots of new multiplayer stuff, lots of new zombie stuff, lots of new Warzone stuff, some new stuff for in-game, new weapons, yada yada yada. All the things that you expect from a new Call of Duty season. So, the story so far. As the guild claws its way back from the ashes of defeat at the hands of David Mason, Alden Dorn, once the trusted right hand of CEO Emmett Kagan, seizes his moment. His vision is merciless: capture David Mason at all costs and unlock the secrets buried within the ceiling, the cutting-edge neural tech possessed only by JSOC's elites. Weekly challenges. This is something that we had in Modern Warfare 3, and I have been sorely missing these. These have been one of the best things to ever come out for Call of Duty ever. It keeps you engaged the entire season with new things to unlock, such as weapons, attachments, and even camos, which I'm a huge camo grinder. I love to collect all the camos, so this is great. Also, this camo right here, we have seen animated in the menus of the video. Looks fantastic. This is a shark camo, also looks fantastic. You unlock this one you earn any 5 weekly rewards. So week 1 rewards is the ballistic knife. Every new week there will be a new week reward, and you complete a certain amount of these. You complete all 6 of them to unlock that week's challenge, or to unlock that week's reward. That'll be 1 tick right there. So complete 5 weeks, you get that. Complete all 9 weeks, you get the other camo. Sick. That's basically what I just explained. All that stuff. New weapons. We've got the Kogot. Am I saying that right? Kogot 7 SMG Battle Pass. It's in the Battle Pass. This is what it looks like, I reckon. This is the Maddox. We know about this one. This is from Black Ops 4. It's an assault rifle, fan favorite. I thought it was okay in Black Ops 4. Well, I'll see how it is in this game. Echo Fire Barrel, a firing blowback system that increases the rate of fire for every second bullet, granting a boost in firepower at the expense of some slight accuracy loss. That sounds kind of cool. We're getting the ballistic knife, obviously. Right there. Just holding it. Love the ballistic knife. It is a classic. The NX Ravager special weapon is this. That is this crossbow. New attachment is the Akita Scorch Link Akimbo. Get out of here. I hate this, by the way. An Akimbo, the Akita is already overpowered, and you're telling me you're giving them an Akimbo attachment? Dog, no. The new Scorchstreak is the Deadeye drone. It is basically a sniper on a drone. Pretty sick. Overclock abilities, extended mag, which is a larger magazine, and Grenadier. Attached grenade for aerial bombing. That's kind of cool. New multiplayer maps. We've got Utopia, Fate, Odysseus, Standoff. That's not all of the ones coming in Season 1. That is just the ones coming on launch. Season 1 launch. This is Utopia, Fate, Odysseus, and Standoff, respectively. Party games return. Prop Hunt. We've had Prop Hunt. One in the Chamber. We had one in the Chamber. Sharpshooter. We've had Sharpshooter. Sticks and Stones. We've had Sticks and Stones and Gun Game. All of these we've had before, so I'm not really going to go too deep into them. We've got the new Zombies map, Astra Valorum. I am incredibly excited for this. It looks fantastic. The heroes continue their perilous journey in search of another Shadowsmith, with their path leading them to a mysterious observatory, a relic ripped from the early 20th century, now drifting silently within the shimmering rings of Saturn. Once a beacon of human curiosity and discovery, the observatory has become a ghostly monument suspended in time, its rusted domes and fractured telescopes watching endlessly over the planet's swirling bands. Within its hollow corridors, secrets of the past and the next step in their quest awaits. It looks sick. I am so excited for Astra Valorum. Looks amazing. We've got Oscar, the new elite. Love his design. I love this guy. This Sentinel robot, a remnant of mid-20th century cinematic imagination, has somehow become an animated stalking menace that roams the dark halls of the observatory, known as the Observation System and Carnifex. Carnifex, interesting. There's been a couple of things with the suffix fex recently. Cortifex, the Gorgafex, the Carnifex. I wonder. Adjudicator robot. Adjudicator. Adjudicator. Fuck. This elite entity seems to be persistent in assessing and neutralizing threats, slowly hover patrolling areas where a disturbance has occurred. The LGM-1 is the new wonder weapon. It fires discs so sick. The Little Green Menace. Is that literally what's called? LGM, Little Green Menace? That is adorable. I love that. The Little Green Menace launches saucer squadrons that exterminate enemies like the lower life forms they are. Shoot for the stars. A retro sleek artifact with unique target acquisition and annihilation qualities. The LGM-1 shoots out partly autonomous saucer-like projectiles that swarm nearby targets with miniature but potent laser fire. This small squadron of independent spacecraft prioritize the closest targets and depends on weapon aiming. These flying discs then track and circle enemies before returning to the LGM for replenishment. Alright, we got Exit 115 as a survival map. I'm not going to go through all this, but I will go through this. Chef's, for the rewards, I will go through. Chef's Special Animated Emblem and 1000 XP for reaching round 10. Ravage Charm and 2500 XP for reaching round 25. And a Perkaholic Gobblegum and 5000 XP for reaching round 50. Not too bad. We got Mule Kick. We are going to go through, we know what Mule Kick is, it gives you a third gun. But I do want to go through the augments because they are pretty interesting. So for the major augments, we have Pack Mule. You can carry more stock ammo. This applies to all your primary weapons, and the amount varies depending on the type of weapon, and it includes wonder weapons. So you can give your wonder weapons more ammo. Base, that's really good. Free Throw, chance to keep equipment when used, does not apply to the combat axe. This means when you throw non-retrievable equipment like a decoy or Molotov, there's a chance your ammo count remains the same. I like that. All Reliable, your third primary weapon is recovered when you repurchase Mule Kick. Does not apply to limited quantity weapons like certain wonder weapons. It's interesting they word that because I don't really know what that means. We don't really know what that means yet. Your weapon now no longer falls to the ground and is instead stored within a realm out of your grasp until Mule Kick is used to again. Yeah, this was a skill in Cold War that we had. Multi-pack. Pack-a-punching a weapon might cause another weapon you are carrying to upgrade to the same pack level. This includes your dedicated melee weapon. If the upgrade doesn't happen, the chances of it happening in the future increase. I like that one. I love, so far, Mule Kick's augments are really cool. Like, I can see them all being useful in their own way. We've got the minor augments. Fully equipped, you can carry more equipment. Right, this allows you to carry one additional tactical and one additional lethal. Okay. Good for a minor. Plate Hunter, you can carry an extra armor plate. Note this adds one to your plates in reserve, not currently one protecting you. BOGO is crafted equipment grants an additional equipment up to the maximum capacity. That one sounds really nice. This allows you to craft one item and get another one for free if you have the inventory capacity. And this one, which is probably the one I'm going to use, Kickback, get a discount on perks. This applies to purchasing perks at machines, and the discount is significant. So that one sounds good. I would probably use Kickback and probably BOGO or fully equipped. We're getting Lightmend back. I'm not going to go through all the augments for Lightmend for all the old stuff because we already know about all of them. But I'm going to go through the new ones though. So this new one has boost. So Lightmend, the new major is Booster Shot. The healing glyph can now overcharge health. That one sounds really useful. Minor augments. The new minor augment is Mitosis. Each activation has a chance to create an extra healing glyph. That one sounds good for when you're able to equip two minors. I would probably put Mitosis and extra strength probably. Shatter Blast. The new one is Blast Shield. Damaging multiple enemies with Shatter Blast temporarily mitigates damage you receive. That's not bad. And the new minor is Blast Through. Weapons with Shatter Blast deal more damage through armor. Hey, that sounds pretty good. I would probably use Blast Boost and Blast Through for good stuff. Returning field upgrades, we've got Tesla Storm. The new one for Tesla Storm is Haywire. Periodically send out electric charges that stun and damage enemies while the Tesla Storm is active. Minor augments. Amped. Increase the Tesla Storm stun and damage radius. I mean, that's cool, but, you know, eh. Frost Blast, we've got Stone Cold Stronghold. Incoming damage is mitigated while you're inside the blizzard. That's basically that one perk from Black Ops 4. Basically that. It works like that, basically. Deep Chill. Enemies continue to be slowed after leaving the blizzard. Okay. Mr. Peaks. Peak health. Heal rapidly while near Mr. Peaks. That one sounds pretty fun. We got VIB discount. Mr. Peaks will offer an ammo discount to VIBs, very important buddies. What are very important buddies? Like, is it just... Are we the very important buddies? Like, I don't understand that. We got new Gobblegums. We got Elemental Exposure and Slay List. Correct it, yeah. So we've got Elemental Exposure, type instant. It lasts 3 minutes. Your weapons will always inflict damage of the target's elemental weakness. Okay. I can see how that can be useful on certain maps where maybe there's multiple things, multiple enemies on that maps. On those maps that have different elemental weaknesses and you only got one of them, I can see that. And for Dead Ops Arcade, it has, for the next 10 minutes, you are invulnerable to all hazards. Not effective in the boss arena. That's pretty overpowered. If you've ever played Dead Ops Arcade, there's a lot of hazards in the area. That could be useful. Slay List, this one's cool. Plays a random zombie song. I hope it plays a chance to play all from any zombies map. That would be super sick. I honestly would rather it not be in a Gobblegum form, though. I'd rather you just be able to do that as a feature of the game and not a Gobblegum, but it's cool it's here. We've got directed mode. We know what directed mode is for Ashes. I'm not going to go through this, but there is a Bushwalker skin for Maya, as well as a calling card for completing it. And there is also an additional calling card for obtaining all necessary intel. Wait. Are they doing another calling card? So I actually just unlocked the 100% intel calling card for Ashes, for standard Ashes, like 2 days ago. Is it going to be a different one? I assume it's going to be a different one. That's interesting. But let's go on to endgame now. This is exciting. All right, I haven't played too much of endgame. I need to get more into it, but this is cool. This right here, coolest thing I've ever seen. It is adding. They're adding new world events, and they're adding new skills as well. So the Colossus of Avalon is a giant mechanical contraption that towers over the Avalon terrain, leaving a bloody path in its wake. To claim the bounty of rewards on offer for defeating this behemoth, you may need reinforcements outside of your own squad. Tool up, study the giant for weaknesses, expose its core, and take it out. Fail and the Colossus will blast off into orbit, so don't delay in your aggression. Sick. A giant Origins robot boss fight. Cool. Toxic Tyrant. This is also on launch. A second major threat to operators within the Avalon theater of combat. A severe neurotoxin outbreak occurring in Avalon. With time running out, you'll need to focus on finding the source of this terror and try not to lose your mind entirely facing the final large-scale threat let loose by this hallucinatory biological weapon. And then here's the exotic skills. I am going to read through these because we don't really know what these are. So, exotic skills are powerful additions acquired by completing world events via a special exotic skill case, which randomly awards you one of the following exotic skills. You can equip and upgrade one exotic skill from the following. Mega Punch replaces your weapon butt with a deadly punch that knocks back enemies and deals more damage. Melee Macchiato, basically. Conjuration. Kill enough enemies to summon toxin butterflies that harass and damage enemies. That's kind of cool. Echo Shell. Significantly reduces damage taken from behind. Okay. Celebration. Enemies damaged or affected by equipment have a chance to trigger mortar rounds that target enemies. That's cool. Frost Cloud. This is basic. Okay, Frost Cloud is basically Frost Blast, basically. Enemies damaged have a chance to trigger A Frost Cloud that slows enemies. Resurrection. On fatal damage, become temporarily invulnerable instead of dying. Available once per match. That's basically Dying Wish. Shattered Shield. Stun and damage nearby enemies when armor plates break. That's reactive armor. Graviton Reaction. Taking melee hits can spawn a black hole that damages and displaces enemies. That's cool. And new exotic weapons. We've got 2. Kill Switch, full auto assault rifle modified for raw power and aggression. Affinity for shrapnel rounds. And Swarm Forge, full auto submachine gun adapted for ultra dynamic and ruthless CQC. Close quarters combat. Affinity for photon rounds. Seasonal events. Rally Point. Season 1 kicks off with the Astrum Malorum Zombies leaderboard event in week 1. There's going to be a new leaderboard event for Astrum Malorum in week 1, followed by the Rally Point community event in week 2. Oh, a community event, which tasks all players to work together to complete community missions to unlock rewards for all. Participate in other events throughout the season to earn additional rewards, including new weapons, blueprints, camos, operations, and more. Yep. It's up to the community to work together in the Rally Point event. Take on personal missions unlocked over the course of the event to unlock rewards for yourself, while also contributing to the community missions alongside the global Call of Duty community that all players progress together. Yeah. And this is where the crossbow is at. This is Ricochet anti-cheat. Are we finally in global? Alright. I'm not gonna go through the anti-cheat stuff. Rewards. There is a new camo you can unlock, which is pretty cool. There's some more double XP, weapon XP, battle pass XP, token you can unlock. Challenges. Added the option to go to challenge when selecting a calling card in the reward feed. Okay. Address an issue that was incorrectly displaying Mastery Camo progress on the next Mastery Camo challenge and the Camo HUD for all modes. Bullet penetration. We are making general changes to bullet penetration in Season 1. The goal of these changes is to increase penetration overall, while keeping damage reasonable. Additionally, we would like to maintain a level of consistency and predictability when it comes to bullet penetration. Up until now, weapon penetration was driven entirely by the maximum distance it passed through a given surface type. Penetration damage would decrease based on the thickness of the surface until the maximum distance. This limited our ability to tune distances without also affecting damage. It could also lead to some extreme edge cases, such as a weapon falling off to just a few points of damage. Starting with Season 1, penetration damage and distance have been decoupled. Weapons will still have a maximum distance they can shoot through for each surface type, but now the damage fall off they experience will be a flat percentage regardless of how thick the surface was. This lets us push the penetration distance further while still ensuring the cover feels advantageous. We'll be carefully monitoring feedback and adjust the outcome. Okay. FMJ will now increase the distance penetrated as well as reduce the penetration damage fall off. Okay. We're planning to weapon tuning. We're planning to release a larger weapon balance patch once we're a couple of weeks into Season 1 and have collected plenty of feedback and data on the first batch of new weapons and attachments. This timing will help us ensure the Season 1 weapon meta is in the best state possible heading into the holidays. The attachment adjustments below are very focused and not intended as a comprehensive balancing pass. We often revisit and tweak attachment tuning as we add new weapons to the game and the relative balance of weapons within a class evolves, which is the case here. Okay. Looks like the M15 got a nerf. AK movement speed decreased. It looks like it got a nerf to a bunch of its attachments. These are just a bunch of attachment stuff. I'm not really going to go through all this because there's a lot of weapons. But yeah. Okay. We are finally into the actual stuff. So we've got world events, we've been through that. The exotic skills, we've been through that. The weapons, we've been through that. Underbarrel launcher's damage will now scale with weapon rarity and character damage upgrades. Address an issue with players being able to enter endgame with 2 of the same weapon in their loadout. Address an issue with optics and other attachments added in creator class not appearing on weapons in game. And address an issue with dedicated melee not receiving damage upgrades. Okay. General updates for in-game. Address an issue with kinetic jump failing to consume a charge and trigger fall damage protection when used while stepping off of a ledge. Address an issue with the escape activity showing 0 time remaining for the trigger with an assignment active. Address some rare instances of the escape beetle not appearing when summoned. Address a rare issue where players would not get a third skill track to choose from. And various dueling or fixes. They always say that. And this is the campaign, not just in-game. Campaign mission, 90% percentage for players on the league mission screen. I'm not gonna go through that. So here's multiplayer, okay? I do not want to read all that. I really don't. Okay, so a lot of this we've already been through maps, modes. Yeah. Overtime has been added to Overload. Oh. At the end of the first half of the match, a player carrying the EMP device will get an additional 30 seconds to overload or be killed. This can also happen at the end of the match. Only if the EMP carrier is on the losing team and losing by 1 point. Players are now forced to their pistol when carrying the EMP device. Oh, you have to use a pistol. If the player does not have a pistol secondary, a backup pistol is provided. Okay. Address an issue where players would not be respawned during sudden death. Address an issue where the killed device carrier and station overloaded. Score events were not displaying properly. Okay. Skirmish. I'm not really going to go through all this. I'm more interested in the zombie stuff, so I'm going to kind of skip through these, but new changes to some of the maps for exposure, Toshin. Equipment, some score streak changes, UI. Zombies. This is what I care about. Asher Malorm, Active 115. Okay. Here's what I care about. The Ashes of the Dam boss battle in Curse mode has been reverted to its original harder difficulty. I hate that. I low-key hate that. I don't understand why people are saying that they wanted that hard-ass version of the boss fight before. I do get why people are saying it, but I really don't agree with it. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. It's specifically for Curse mode, so whatever. Luckily, I just beat my Curse mode like last night before they did this, so. Address an issue where players may fall through the map if they dive at a certain location in Vatherion. What is that word? Sepulture? What is that? Anyways, address an issue where players could get stuck in the repair animation if Vatherion picked up Old Tessie while players were repairing it. I can see that happening. Address an issue where Old Tessie could teleport out of Vatherion Sepulture during the fight. Is the Sepulture the area that you're in? I assume it is. Players in other events will now be warped to a main quest step that requires all players after a 5-minute delay. Okay. Address an issue where the light on the trap switch does not turn off after fully extracting the energy from the ether generator in the Wonder Weapon quest in Vandorn Farm. Okay, sure. Where else are we? Address an issue where the dining room skeleton skull would not reset. The dining room skeleton skull? Are you talking about the dad at the farm? I don't know. Address an issue with collision near the film reel found outside the deck at Blackwater Lake, making it difficult to shoot. I didn't notice anything wrong with that. Address an issue in which the main quest would not progress if the Widow's Lantern spores are spread on round 999. They did that for that one specific guy who went to round 999 and tried to do the Easter egg, and he was complaining about it. That's why they did that. I'm glad that they did that. They're listening. That's good. Okay. Address an issue with collision on a red truck in Vandorn Farm. Address an issue where small areas in Order Graveyard and Crash Rocket locations did not have player collision. Address an issue with a mantle prompt not appearing properly in Farm. Closed an exploit spot on the second floor of the farmhouse in Farm. Oh, is that the spot for the melees? God dang it. I was hoping they wouldn't do that. Adjusted the position of floating overgrown horde husks. I don't know what that means. Address collision on the boathouse rafter in Blackwater Lake. Address an issue where players would take out of bounds damage when when standing on a crate in Cosmodrome. I did not know that was a thing. Addressed an issue where players could take out of bounds damage when diving off the bridge towards the garage in Ashwood. Fixed an issue where the jump pad VFX were not clear if players died in the flight path. Okay. Addressed an issue with players not being able to mantle a section of the fence in farm. Addressed an issue with collision. Yeah, okay. We're going to skip through this because I don't care too much about that. Updated the Pack-a-Punch version of the arrow to fire grenade projectiles. Is that buffing it or making it worse? Because it was already not great. I did not like the way that the arrow fires when it's Pack-a-Punch. I hate it. Addressed an issue with the Flatline Mark II equipped with Shock Blade skin doing double damage to the pustulates on the ether generator. Okay. The pustules. Addressed an issue where the base weapon name would still appear in the loot card after the weapon is upgraded at the Pack-a-Punch machine. Addressed an issue where weapon wall buys were visible through the player's scope. Some scopes that were affected are those. Okay. Addressed an issue where certain weapon attachments could glow brightly when standing near a light source. Adjusted the fire rate for the Mirage. Really? Did they slow it down? What did they do? Did they buff it? Did they nerf it? Because it's good. That gun is good. I beat the boss fight with it yesterday. Underbarrel launcher damage will now scale with weapon rarity and Pack-a-Punch upgrades rather than rounds. Okay. Items from the mystery box will now drop on the ground when players melee the box. The items can be picked up by anyone. So they're just making it so it doesn't have to stay in there. You can just melee it and it will instantly go out. Survival. The Necrofluid Gauntlet can now be acquired from the mystery box in Survival. Okay, so it wasn't in the box. Like, when you spin the box in Survival, you could see it in the box, but you couldn't actually get it. Tet tasks are now enabled in Survival. That's cool. Chompy will now remain active in Survival except for special rounds and during exfil. Good. Reduce the amount of essence earned from trap kills in Cursed. Address an issue with players using a timeout Gobblegum to unlock a relic portal. Closed an exploit that allowed players to spam the interact on the phone to get a relic portal to appear. Address an issue where the wine bottle for a particular relic could appear to float in the air. Close an exploit involving loading a solo save after round 60 to unlock a relic after completing the main quest at an earlier round, and added a playlist image for Curse. So they basically just closed a lot of relic specific things. So armor plates are now automatically applied to your vest with Voltrade if... Wait. Armor plates are now automatically applied to your vest with Voltrade Armor-Matic if down a full plate or more. Like if I have Voltrade and I have a full 3 plate and I have 3 plates in my 3 plates in my storage, right? Let's say one of them breaks. Is it going to automatically apply the one of the ones in my storage to my vest without me having to press anything? Because if so, that's a good change. I like that. Address an issue where Deadshot Daiquiri would not lock onto a zombie's head when aiming through certain doors and ashes. Close an exploit with augments that return all perks from Last Stand. Close an exploit with PhD Flopper with... close an exploit using PhD Flopper with Stuntman Minor augment to reach high rounds rapidly. Shit, why? Updated with T. Fletcher augment description. Okay. Holy moly, there's so much stuff for zombies. Oh my god, this is a long video. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to go through this faster. Okay. Address an issue where players would not be able to purchase Klaus from his call box after loading a save. Address an issue with a wall not having equipment collision in Cosmodrome. Address an issue with Chompy sometimes not eating sticky grenades. Address an issue where players could teleport back to Faith Iron. Oh, with a Casimir, I knew about that. Hunderbox will not be destroyed by the shot from his EMP blast. Fuck that. Support. Address an issue where the player's health bar would disappear when bleeding out, and spectating another player activating a Disciple Injection. Address an issue with players being able to place a sentry turret in the Vault of Flesh. What's the Vault of Flesh? Is that the thing under the farm? Anyways, address an issue where the dog could obstruct the start of the RCXD race. Address an issue where the RCXD may be pushed forward at the start of the RCXD race. Address an issue where the VFX for the Mangler Cannon will disappear when swapping between first and third person. Address an issue where Old Tessie could be used to break the pathing for Uber Klaus. Adjusted the distance Klaus follows behind Old Tessie to avoid him clipping into the camera of the driver. Address an issue where players could become invincible if they were kicked out as soon as the player teleported into Old Tessie. Adjusted the score event to match when killing zombies with the auto DG2 turret fire and when manned. Address an issue where long weapons would clip into Old Tessie. Added handbrake to Old Tessie HUD. Oh, that's cool. Address an issue where the incorrect button prompt would appear for the Abomination Beam. When using driver control settings, address an issue when exiting Old Tessie near map boundaries could create an exploit spot. Power-ups. Address an issue where the timer from a power-up would occasionally not appear. Thank God. Thank you, because that has happened to me so much. Address an issue where the score event will be incorrect when players convert Gobblegums with double points active. Oh, okay. Reduce drop rates for high-value items in early rounds from ether plants. No! They nerfed the ether plants. That is an L, dude. That is an L. It gave us a reason to use toxic growth early on. That's an L. I get why, but that's an L. That is an L, especially for cursed, dude. It's hard to get points in cursed. Like, you might think it's easy, but when you have the no power up relic on, no, it's hard. That I don't like that. Address an issue with the ether canister ping not clearing after players picked up the item. Address an issue that prevented players from pinging the Abomination Carcass item. Address an issue where the ether canister would clip into players when being carried while climbing. Players could receive 2 ray guns from an overgrown horde husk. Address an issue where the DG2 turret could respawn after loading a save. Enemies! There's a lot of them here. Address an issue with certain zombies while still appearing alive after being eliminated with high contrast mode on. Address an issue with idle zombies in certain locations in Master of the Dam. Address an issue with zombies clipping into the roof of the garage during a death scene. Address an issue with zombies going through an APC when climbing. What is an APC? It doesn't matter. When attempting to climb on top of it. Address an issue where blood can be seen when shooting directly at a fallen hat from a zombie. A fallen hat? What the hell? Address an issue with zombie animations not playing correctly when climbing up ledges. Address an issue with zombies getting stuck in a climbing animation loop in multiple locations. Address an issue where a Ravager's portal VFX were missing when spawning near a wall in Cosmodrome. Address Vathorion's collision so the zombies will not go through it if thrown by a player using Disciple Injection. Address an issue where Vathorion would clip the ground when throwing Old Tessie in the middle platform. Address an issue where the quest zombies in Exit 115 would hold up the round if they were the last zombies alive. That's good. Address an issue where the quest zombies in Exit 115 would not spawn after loading a solo save. Address an issue with mimic items getting stuck on the doors in the diner. Address an issue where a zombie may get stuck out of bounds in survival. Address an issue where dead Ravager still had glowing eyes. Okay, cool. Address an issue with the TED task requiring zombie eliminations not tracking properly in Cosmodrome. Address an issue with the TED task requiring players to remain in a location not tracking correctly. Okay. Gobblegums. When swapping Gobblegum packs, the first 3 gums will swap once one of the following conditions are met. The player uses a gum in any slot. The player takes a gum from the Gobblegum machine, or 3 minutes of total match time if passed. I don't know if I like that, actually. Because there's a lot of times where I want to keep the ones I have, but just get a different one from a different pack. I don't know if I like that very much, but we'll see. Addressed an issue where a special round would occur on the next round after the player uses the timeout Gobblegum during a special round. Addressed an issue where the progress from converting a Gobblegum to Essence would be saved on the slot with a new Gobblegum. Remove the daily challenge for killing special zombies. Sticky grenades and cluster grenades now count toward challenges that require lethal equipment. They didn't before? That's crazy. Okay. The entity subtitles will no longer appear on screen if players have subtitles off. Adjusted the text for certain intel descriptions in the intel menu. That's good. That's interesting. I will go and check that out. Adjusted the drop ether canister prompt to no longer overlap subtitles. Addressed an issue where the menu in the Winter Wonder Fizz machine does not update immediately after buying a perk with Soda Fountain Gobblegum active. Oh, okay. Addressed an issue with Power Doors icon appearing again on the minimap after loading a save. Addressed an issue with pings not clearing from a door buy after purchasing. Addressed an issue where the spray prompt would not clear immediately after spraying a plant. Address an issue where the objective showed the incorrect step after failing to clear the postulates on the ether generator loading a save. Quest objective HUD is now disabled when players are attempting the Xursa attack or Dempsey Easter eggs. Address an issue with the RCXD HUD staying on screen to explode as soon as it is deployed. Address an issue where the flavorless gum was missing its icon. Address an issue where the incorrect playlist type would appear in the scoreboard menu while in cursed. One weapons no longer appear locked in the mastery badge list. Corrected the number of chevrons that appear for ultra weapon rarity at the arsenal machine in cursed. Address issues with unclear loadout restrictions in cursed. Address an issue that was causing the XP rewards not display after picking up intel. Graphics. Adjusted some lighting. Adjusted the timing for the white flash once players complete the main quest defense event in Van Dorn Farm. Addressed an issue where players would briefly see Janus Plaza when loading into the Van Dorn Farm survival. That's cool. Ammo drops now play sound effects for pickup. The Freezer King now plays sound effects for pickup. Added an announcer voiceover for when players earn an eternal perk. So the permanent perks, yeah. Address an issue where zombie sound effects could disappear for some time. Address multiple operator voiceover lines. Stability stuff. Okay. Dubs Arcade 4. I'm not really going to go over because I don't play it too much. But yeah, that is Season 1. What a list of things. 37-minute long video. That is insane. Let me know what you guys think of Season 1 and if you guys are excited for Season 1. I know I am. There's a lot to go over and there's a lot to do. So hopefully I will see you guys in game. Bye guys. Peace.